Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Andrew, and for this project I'm working on, I was doing the character design challenge of the month. It's a Facebook page group. You guys should check it out. It's pretty cool. They always do monthly challenges, and for this month, the challenge was to design your version of a Greek god or goddess, or you know. So at first, I was originally doing a design for Zeus, and then I ended up changing my mind about halfway through. As you can see, that first part I was doing like a rough skeleton, and I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do Zeus or Hades, so I was kind of going towards Hades at first, and then I was like, oh no, I just changed my mind, and I decided to try to do a Zeus composition. And then, you know, like going through it and working, I just ended up changing my mind and really wanted to do Hades, so I wanted to do my version of Hades in my style. What I was going for in this picture, like I really wanted the character to be really huge and imposing, so like really muscular and stuff. So that's what I was going for, this like big bulky bodybuilder type. And you know, I wanted the pose because in the image I wanted him to be using his power instead of just like standing there and, you know, being kind of static. I mean, this pose isn't the most dynamic itself, but I thought it'd be a little bit more interesting, you know, to have him like kind of, you know, being intimidating and using his power. So at this point right here, you can see I was trying to do the Zeus character because I still was kind of jumping back and forth between the idea, and I was doing this big beard, and I just really wanted to do Hades. I wanted to do something more fun, so I was like trying to give him more of like a sinister look, you know, kind of smiling and, you know, grinning at you like as he's getting ready to take your soul. Now you can see I already did my rough sketch, and now I'm going through and re-cleaning up some of the line work. Still really roughing it in, you know, just trying to find more of the anatomy and stuff in it. How I like to do my line work is I always like to start everything with a like 3 pixel brush, 4 pixel brush, depending on the size of the composition. I think I'm working right now at a 5 pixel brush. Anyways, I like to work at like kind of, you know, thin lines and really find the shapes that I'm looking for and clean everything up. And then later on, when I'm ready to ink it better, you know, I'll leave it all one thin line, and then I'll go back and use a thicker line brush and add the thicks and, you know, thick the thins and really give it more line weight, you know, to help bring the drawing to life and stuff. So yeah, so right now I'm just playing with the anatomy, just really trying to figure out what I'm doing or what this character is going to look like. This is one of my very first YouTubes doing you know, voiceover, so it's kind of interesting because I really don't know what to talk about as much. So yeah. But here I'm trying to add like the souls as his powers, like him like taking souls, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to have some effect of that. I was gonna add horns, but it didn't feel Hades. It felt more like demon like, so I thought it'd be better if I was gonna do Hades. You know, he didn't need horns. So right now I'm just using a 5 pixel brush and just going through and doing my final lines. Now when you do fabric, like, because I still have a lot of issues with fabric, and this fabric's not the greatest done. You know, I had a short time to work on this project. I just wanted to get it done. It took me about like an hour and then maybe 2 hours to like draw it and color it, so give or take. But anyways, with fabrics and stuff, the main key is just to try to find those like pinch points, you know. So like when I did when I was first doing the cloak around him, I originally was gonna have like this little circle pendant there, but later on in the design I ended up taking out because I just didn't like it. but you can see as it's wrapping around from the shoulder, you can see that the fabric is pulling from there. So you really got to keep in mind all the pinch points when you're doing like fabric. You just try to find some really good reference for it. It's just going to be the easiest way for you to do it. You know, don't be scared to use reference. A lot of people think using reference is like cheating, but it's not. You know, every great artist uses reference. So find the best reference for the best, you know, outcome. So now here I'm doing some the infamous Kirby Crackle, created by Jack Kirby. And yeah, Kirby Crackle it's fun, but it's kind of like difficult to get it to look right. It seems like it'd be super easy because it's just a bunch of dots, but you know, you want them to be random but not random, because they still have to flow and have, you know, a sense of design, but you got to try to give it randomness without being random. It's really difficult at first. I mean, the best way to go about it is just kind of like how I did. I just laid out exactly like a small little path of where my energy is going to come from and flow up to, and then just, you know, just try to fill in the crackle from there, and just, you know, try to give it this random feel, like, you know, the energy is just flowing randomly. It's not too much of a pattern. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to have like a spirit face in there, you know, inside the Kirby Crackle. So now right here I'm going through and adding my thick line weights. I'm doing a 20 pixel brush right now, and just, you know, focusing on where the light source is coming from. So my main light source is him using his energy, so all my thick lines are going to be on the opposite side of where the energy is. So that's the best way to do, you know, line weights, is just imagine which way your light source is coming from, and then try to put the, you know, the thick lines on the opposite of the thin line. So any line that's going to go away from the light source will be thicker, and any light going, you know, any line going towards the light source is going to be thinner. So now I'm just going to wrap up this video with you guys just watching me finish up the rest of the lines. I went through, combined all my layers for my ink layers and put them into one layer, so all my line work is now on one layer. And what I'm gonna do is start laying in my flat colors. So I do a quick selection around the whole character, and then inverse that selection, and then just fill it that way, instead of going through with a brush and, you know, painting the entire character in, which, you know, takes a long time. This way, you know, I'm just building one layer that has a flat color there, right? And then later on I'll go through and, you know, make some more changes with that layer. And then right now what I'm doing is I'm selecting all my line work with the lasso tool, and I'm gonna go through and do a hue saturation to color my line work. So I'm not using big bold black lines, you know, I'm actually, you know, gonna hide the lines, and it just gives the overall illustration a different look. It's something that I've been playing with myself. Usually I stick to the thick black comic book style lines, but I'm just been experimenting, trying some new stuff. So here I just went in and gave the lines like this lighter bluish color. Eventually later on I think I changed it to a darker color, but anyways, so I'm just going through right now and doing the line weights and everything, and adding a background so I can get a better judge of, the rest of my colors when I lay in my flats. So this video I finish going through and getting the backgrounds done. Next I go through and finish the background, adding the gradient layer, and then I go through and finish adding the flats to the rest of the character. So for the next video I'll go through and add shadowing and shading. Alright, thanks guys, hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share.